Hello YouTube, Intuitive Edge here, checking in. Today I would like to look at a mystical topic called the event. Now, I don't know how many of you have watched other YouTube channels or are a student of occult or ancient prophecies, but there seems to be a thread that runs through a lot of different prophecies of old, different teachings, different ancient writings that seem to speak of an event. Now, some of those world events have happened before, and some prophecies say they will happen again. And of course, you have right now lots of people saying that they feel like something's gonna happen soon, like there's some sort of that, like we're building up to something, but they don't know what that thing is. And there's lots of speculation as to what that thing is. Some people say it's a end of the world. Some people say it's like another great war. Some people say it could be like some sort of cataclysmic disruption to our soul, to our planet, like asteroid impact, or I don't know, who knows. But there's some really good channels out there that talk about these things. And some people know, some people don't know, but some people think they know, but I don't know who really knows. But I thought it'd be fun to do a tarot on it, just to ask, what is the event? How do we prepare? And the great question of that everyone wants to know is when. When will this some sort of large scale event? Another thing that some people think is that the event is just a huge shift in awakening of the human consciousness, which would be like the best scenario, right? If everybody suddenly became more self-aware and more caring and more loving, that would be very cool. Others think it's more dire than that, like some big shakeup. So let's look at it. I'm going to shuffle up these cards, and we're just going to take a look at it. Give me a moment while I shuffle. But we want to know, what is the event that people are feeling or thinking, or that may or may not happen? What is it? How do we prepare? And when? Is there some sort of timeline that we could look at? I mean, if everybody's all worried for something that's going to happen 10,000 years from now, that doesn't really do anybody any good. That's like a waste of energy, right? So, but if it's imminent, if it's going to happen in the next 5, 10, or 20, or even 50 years, we might want to know to prepare. Some of us won't be alive in 50 years, but some of us will. And if you care about your grandkids or your friends, family. So let's look at it. Let's find out when. Let's find out what it is. And how do we prepare for something that we don't know what we're looking at? How do we prepare? How do we get in the right frame of mind? So let's look at that. The event. Almost done shuffling. One moment here. No, I think we're good. Okay, let's cut the deck. This is my new Cat's Tarot deck. All right, let's see what we got. So we got, what is it? How to prepare. And when. Now, the Cat's Tarot is a beautiful deck. I've been looking through this. I've been reading the little book that came with it. It's just lovely. But the cards, it's the same number of cards as a traditional tarot, but they're loosely associated with the traditional Rider-Waite tarot. So these are, I may just have to be more intuitive with the meanings on these. and maybe look at the book, because these they're associated with the Rider-Waite, but they're not. So so it's going to be fun. I'm gonna try just I'm gonna do these just purely intuitively, and see where we go, because this deck is fascinating. So with the question of what is it, I have the Death card, so that's rather interesting. And you can see the beautiful artwork on these cards. Sorry about the window glare. Let's see if I can get that glare off there. So this card is, you can see this cat laying in a beautiful little patch, and it's got its like 9 lives kind of floating off above it. It's really kind of a cool looking card, but it is the traditional death card. What the death card signifies in tarot is simply means a transformation. It is a cycle. It is a death and rebirth is a cycle of life. It is transitioning from one phase into another. I think from what this means, seems very obvious that the event is going to be a transformative period of time. Probably not going to be something that some people can just ignore and other people are impacted. It's probably going to be felt or impactful by just about everybody. If it is that type of event. The death card is very transformational. You don't really get to just kind of, some people skirt by and some people are affected. It's its own impactful and powerful work in your life is the transformation card. Does it mean literal death? I mean, it depends. If you're looking at, it depends on what the rest of the card's saying, what the question is. For this, I'm going to take it as just a very powerful and transformative process. When you have the next question is how to prepare, and we have this is the Two of Sky, and I'll show you this one too because it's really pretty. These cards are just really pretty. Again, this is the Cat's Tarot deck. Twos are about options and decisions. And when you've got the Two of Sky, which equates to the Two of Swords in the traditional tarot, for those of you that follow the traditional tarot, that you've got a challenge to your mind to keep you on task. But there's also an element of like being stuck in your own thoughts and not being able to move forward because you've got your blinders on. So it's like decisions and options, but yet you're kind of in your own way. So that's interesting in the position of how to prepare. This tells me that maybe not to be so much in your head, but to listen to your heart and not get in your own way with what you need to be doing. Now we all need to follow our gut and our intuition. That's our soul. That's our life path. That's what guides us. And sometimes we listen and we don't realize we're listening to it. Some people try to make a conscious decision to listen to their soul and what their gut is telling them. But this is about kind of not being self-deceived and getting out of your own way. That's interesting. Now I asked when. This is a fascinating card. This is a major arcana. Both of these are. But this one is, and it's so cute. This one's called Good Kitty. This is the Judgment card in the traditional tarot deck. Now, as we know, the Judgment card is all about that cycle of death and rebirth and beginning again, starting over kind of. And when so to me this really looks like the imagery on it is drawing me to looking to the higher principles and looking to your higher intuition. But when you get a major arcana, and you're asking when. To me, that says pay attention. This is important. So I would think that this is not something that, is going to just happen in 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 years. I think this feels more, there's more urgency to it. When you've got this pay attention to the signs, pay attention to the heavens I'm getting, pay attention to the signs in the heavens. The ancients also did talk about things happening in different times of the zodiac. And so maybe pay attention to the zodiac. Pay attention to astrology. Pay attention to the times. Pay attention to what's in front of you. So I think this is a sense of urgency. When it's urgent. That's what it's telling me, urgency. Let's look at some more. Ooh, lovely. All right. So again, over here, what is it? 6 of fire. This is cool. 6 of fire. Fire is representative of the wands in the traditional tarot. But this is like people coming together. It's almost like it's like a calling. There's like all different types of people coming together. This tells me that whatever this event is, it's going to affect like more than just one town, one city, one state, one nation. I think that people with the image of, I say people, these are cats, but you know what I mean. With the image of coming together, and there's different types, different stripes, different colors. To me, that's saying it's more than just one region or one area or one nation. These are different nations coming together to, and they're bringing things with them. This is interesting. Perhaps what this is everybody preparing in their own way, bringing their own things, but they're bringing, I'm getting this imagery of people bringing stuff together in like one central place or coming together. So that could mean working together, but I think it more means affecting everybody. Like it's going to be something that more people pay attention to and more people are aware of, and more people are affected by it. Then we have the how to prepare, and the other one was kind of like getting out of your own way. This is we've got the sun here. We've got the sun here. This is another major arcana, and this is a really positive, lovely card. Let's take a look at it. This is the sun card. And the sun card is very positive. It is upside down, so that changes the meaning just slightly, but generally the sun card is always positive, whether upright or reversed. Now, okay, I'm going to step out with my intuition here. There's a beautiful statue on this card made of gold. And I don't know if that's telling people to diversify some of your assets into gold or to, I don't know. But the element of gold is really strong in this card, and it kind of stands out to me. Another aspect of this card that is the imagery of the wheel of destiny, the karmic wheel. It's almost like, and then it's got the imagery of this fortified kind of home with like a cave on one side. To me, it's preparing your home. But it's got that karmic thing with it. Karma, gold, and home. So preparing your home. I guess in a very literal sense, we could take that to be, prepare your home. What would you do if there was a disaster, and I don't know if the event is a disaster or not. I'm just saying, well, it's always good to prepare. What if there was, say a volcano erupted and there was, that trucks couldn't get food to the stores for a few days. It might kind of disrupt the flow of things. Prepare your home, have some extra bottled water or food. I don't know, but that's the imagery is the home, kind of the sanctuary where you stay, your domicile. And it's fortified with gold, which is interesting. Okay, we're going to move on. We've got the when. This was a sense of urgency and paying attention to the higher mind, your higher, and paying attention to the seasons and the stars and what's going on around you. And this is the Ace of Earth. Now this is upright too. Aces are all about new beginnings. I want to say that this is new beginnings. I would say that pay attention, urgent new beginning. I would say maybe a little more close to our time frame, whatever this is. It feels, I think that adds to the urgency of it. Is that this is the starting over kind of thing. It's a new beginning. I'm going to move on. One more line here. See what we get. Okay. So over here we have Eight of Fire. Fires relate to wands in the traditional tarot. This is the card of needing to move forward quickly. Do something quickly. Something happening quickly. Something happening. And it's upside down. So some say that means there might get a little bit of a late start, but it'll happen quickly, maybe a little bit later down the road, but it's still going to happen. And this is in the line of what is it? I think it's something that's going to happen quickly. Whether it's a magnetic pole shift or some sort of cataclysmic event, it's going to happen quickly. And there is, it's kind of cute because these two cats over here, they're kind of like looking at this one that's just taken off, and he's, pulling up the rug under him and just running away. And these cats are kind of looking at him like, what the heck? And they're kind of caught off guard. So it may catch some people off guard. It may catch some people off guard is what I'm getting. Because it will happen so quickly. So the happening quickly. The next card is in the position of how to prepare. And we have this not getting in your own way. The image of home and gold. And now we have the Six of Sky. Skies relate to the swords in the regular tarot, I should say. And as you can see, the image of this cat is that there's like chaos and a fight going on behind him. And this cat's like, he looks a little beat up. He's got a little scratch on him. It's a little chunk taken out of his ear. But he's like walking away. He looks kind of pissed. He's like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm moving out. I'm moving on. I'm not dealing with this chaos. I'm going to go my own way and do my own thing. That's what he's saying. And when you get an image like that, the fact that it's reversed tells me that this might be something that this person, I'm going to relate the cat to a person. This person might want to do, but feels kind of stuck or trapped or something in this battle that's going on, this thing behind him that he's leaving, he's moving out of, moving on from. So, this may be, you may, I'm just saying, some people may choose to, in preparation, they may need to move out from their current living situation if it's not ideal. Move away. Pull up stakes and start out going where you feel you need to be. Some people may need to relocate or want to relocate. Some people, based on this, might have to relocate, and it might kind of tick them off because they really liked where they were at. But I mean, if some sort of disruption happens, it may affect a certain region, and you might have to move. I'm not saying you, I'm just in general. So there may, and this isn't how to prepare, so there may be some people that need to geographically relocate or just move out of a bad situation or move away from a bad situation. Okay, then we've got the when. Again, looking at the when. And let's see what we've got here. This is the Four of Sky. This is a card of needing to take a break and needing to relax. Oh, this is interesting. You know, there's a weather vane on top of this card. Now, the way I'm using these cards is completely intuitive. What I'm drawn to, what I see, is kind of what I'm led to talk about. But when you've got this needing to rest or recuperate or take time out, but you've got changes in the pole. So you know what? I wonder, of course, if the event on the when line is a weather vane. Sorry about that interruption there. Okay, so the weather vane is, this is interesting, because I think it might have something to do with, well, there's been talk of either a magnetic reversal, like north points south, like the Earth changing its magnetic field. And there have been, I don't know, if many people know this, but they have had to make adjustments on the runways to major airports, because after a while it seems like things have drifted, and they've had to make adjustments on their north, south, east, and west directions. But when I get the when, I get this image of drawing within and resting, and then this shift of the wind or the northeast, southwest. So boy, that's interesting. And again, I think this line is has a sense of more urgency to it than just something that's going to be far out in the future. I think it's a little more close to home, and it may have something to do with either the weather or the magnetic field of the Earth. Okay, interesting. Let's do our overall. Let's see what the bottom card says. Oh, wow, lovely. This is the 9. Nine of C. This is the wish card of contentment and happiness. Overall, to me, this looks positive. This looks like something that coming through whatever these changes are is going to lead us to a much, much better place. To me, this feels like, if people are in a bad situation, needing to move forward or needing to, take care of things, kind of hunker down, get some rest, collaborate with other people. But whatever these changes are, this feels really positive. I think whether it's a cosmic awareness, a higher consciousness change in the population of the Earth, we could be on the brink of something like that. So whatever these changes are, I think it's going to help us regroup and rebuild and become better people, become more loving and more caring. And I hope, my prayer is that we can release some of our negative habits and patterns as humanity can move forward from these changes that we're facing and feeling. Obviously, when humanity is feeling this angst, like there's something that's going to happen, it's just, to me, it's like a cosmic call of conscious awareness to become more aware of what needs to be let go of, what needs to be released, so that new and better can come of it. But we have to expand what we think is possible, and we have to expand our awareness to be able to handle the good that could come our way. And I'm not saying there's not going to be some upset, perhaps, some chaos, some times of shift and transition and change. But we have to like purge that out and get rid of those things that don't serve, so that we can live in peace and have some better harmony with ourselves, with each other. It's going to take some work, and there may be those caught off guard. But if you're already on the path of spiritual seeking, you're going to be a little bit better off. So anyway, that's all I have for now. Hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll do more. Take care, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.